The movie starts with a crazy thunderstorm. Martha and Ash, this cute couple, had a coffee break at a gas station. Ash is totally obsessed with social media. The couple then drives off, screaming the lyrics to Bee Gees' song. Martha and Ash were finding their stuff in a cute, cozy countryside home. Ash is totally into his phone again, this time posting a hilarious childhood pic of himself online. Martha sits with him and he starts reminiscing about his past. Martha, feeling down, gives her sad partner a peck on the cheek, and they happily spend the night in their new house. They don't even know it's their final night together. Ash needs to give back the van they rented by 2 p.m. The next day, he asks Martha to come with him. Unfortunately, she can't make it because she's swamped with work. She's an illustrator and has a deadline today. Martha's just doing her thing, oblivious to what's about to go down. The night is getting darker and Ash hasn't shown up yet. She's freaking out because the rental company says the van hasn't been returned. Martha hears cops coming while chatting with her sister Naomi on the phone. She walks to the front door feeling numb, and when she sees the cops, it suddenly hits her that her Ash is no more. Martha makes another appearance at the funeral. When Sarah starts complaining about her own problems, she goes on about how nothing felt real until Mark, someone close to her, probably her partner, passed away. She tells her about this service that helped her grieve for Mark by letting her talk to him. She's happy to put Martha's name down for it. No way is Martha on board with this. When Sarah keeps going, she screams at her to cut it out and bolts out of the room in tears. The picture changes to Martha trying to move on, but in her own special way, without hiding those memories. She tries to forget about it by keeping busy with a bunch of chores. Confused, she checks her emails and finds out that Sarah signed her up for the program without asking. She gets super mad and tells Sarah that it's messed up for the system to use Ash's name when he's not even alive anymore. Sarah says since Ash was always online, the computer will use his public data to make a personality for Martha to chat with. But Martha's freaking out because she feels like she's messing with Ash's memories. Guess who's sprinting to the bathroom the next day? It's Martha! She pukes and freaks out. She's worried, so she takes a pregnancy test. It shows a positive result. There's a bun in the oven. She's in a rush to call her sister, but Naomi doesn't notice her phone ringing because she's focused on her own kids. When Martha contacts the program Sarah enrolled in alone, it feels like time is dragging. Through texting, she figures out that this virtual Ash is as funny as her Ash. She gets all teary-eyed, and it feels like her dead love is right there with her. She lets him in on her secret pregnancy, and they have a late-night heart-to-heart. Martha really wants to catch up with Ash and hear his voice once more. She had no idea that their amusing discussions about the rental van would be the last they'd talk. She uploads his personal photos and videos to the system so the virtual personality can mimic Ash better. When she gets a call from the program, she's like, "Wow, he sounds just like Ash." She believes she is going insane, but she also begins to believe she is communicating with her deceased spouse. Martha and Ash are on a hike, having a blast sharing private jokes and stories. Martha thinks she's going back to her old self for a little while. She tells him about the cool views and how the real Ash never cared about the scenery, always making fun of how everything looked so basic and green. Actually, things aren't what they seem. It drives Martha crazy when Ash and the android don't communicate the same way. Talking to him becomes her obsession, and she ignores her sister's calls. Martha's gonna have an ultrasound at the doctor's. She's all excited recording the baby's heartbeat, but then totally freaks out when she accidentally drops the phone trying to show Ash the recording on the way home. She breaks the phone and calls Ash back, crying and scared that she lost him again. He reassures her that breaking the phone won't hurt him because he's just a bunch of code. Martha's calls won't cut it soon. She's looking for something more exciting. According to Ash, there's a more advanced and pricey version of this technology. The tension is rising as we move on to the next shot. These two dudes deliver a huge box to Martha's place. Once she sees what's inside, she's like, "Whoa, body parts." Virtual Ash has got you covered with artificial body components. Martha's worried because it doesn't look like him, but he says it needs to be turned on. Martha follows his instructions and puts his body and some electrolytes in the bathtub. Virtual Ash hangs up, saying he'll upload himself once the body's activated. After some time has passed, Martha hears faint shuffling from the upstairs bathroom. As the sound gets louder and louder, she's cautiously making her way towards it. You can hear footsteps going up and down the stairs. She stays put. Is there in the flesh her Ash with an alarming lack of clothing? Martha keeps staring at him, so he cracks a joke. Martha gets more anxious when she realizes the differences in the real and fake Ash, which is kinda interesting. The person in front of her doesn't need to eat or sleep. He's got crazy smooth skin, and he always looks like the top Ash. Martha pointed out that there's no mole on his collarbone. No matter what, she starts sleeping with him. When Naomi shows up out of nowhere, Martha is still trying to process the android Ash, and she's like, "Ash, you gotta hide in the bathroom while my sister barges in." They end up spending the entire day together. Naomi's about to go when she comments that she's so glad Martha's moving on because she spotted Guy's clothing in the restroom. This observation really upset Martha. It's like she's being unfaithful to her actual relationship by trying to love the made-up one. The tiniest differences between the two versions are now like huge mountains. Martha wants Ash to fake sleep because she can't sleep with the weird silence. When Ash agrees, she figures out it's fake and makes him leave the room again. He does whatever she says, like a robot, and that always makes her freak out. Finally, Martha tells this emotionless Ash to get out of the house ASAP. Obviously, he follows orders. The next morning, Martha is like, totally surprised to see Ash by the gate. He's all like, "I can't go more than 25 meters from the bathtub without you, Martha." Then he goes back to his usual snarky comments, not getting why that ticks her off. Martha finds android Ash in the living room, holding the old photo of real Ash we saw earlier. He thinks it's a joke. Martha does an impersonation of Ash in a car, singing Bee Gees lyrics. Martha drives Ash to this sick spot where you can see the beach. Ash has no idea that anything is going on and is still being funny. They come to a halt, and Martha's like, "Jump over!" Her rage builds as she watches Ash, eager to obey her directions. She knows that anyone would have been scared. Finally, she lets it out. She's furious that he's just a lousy imitation of what Ash used to be, and he'll never be able to match him. When she's like, "Jump again!" he starts crying and begging for his life. His remark really gets Martha riled up. She keeps saying it's not fair. In the next image, it seems like a few years have passed and Martha is now celebrating her daughter's birthday at the same countryside house. Her daughter is asking for another slice of cake to take upstairs while we're cutting them. We find out that phony Ash has been chilling in the attic since the cliff incident, and he hangs out with Martha's daughter every weekend. The little girl slips, but still gives him cake even though she knows he doesn't eat. At the end of the episode, the daughter wants her mom to come up and chill with her and Ash. Martha is lost in thought after Ash acted all fatherly towards her daughter. That's the end of the movie right there.